What's up, guys? Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 8 team builder in the UPA-D League, taking on Scotty in the London Luxray. He's got the same record as us. We're not in the same division, but we're very tight in the standings here. So it's really important that we pick up this win. This is basically a must-win game for us. If we want any hope of making playoffs, we definitely need to get at least 5 wins, if not 6. So my best chance at making playoffs is going to be winning this game and then moving on from there. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. So let's run through Scotty's team. He's picked up this team from Fizzle and Matt as well. I would have been a lot more comfortable playing Matt because I know Matt's skill level. But yeah, Scotty, he's got the Z Garchomp, Infernape, Ferrothorn, Z Mimikyu, Starmie, Mega Pidgeot, Thundurus, Therian, Mesprit, Weezing, Umbreon, Avalugg, and Z Grotle. Priority users in the Infernape with Vacuum Wave, Mach Punch, Mimikyu with Shadow Sneak, and Umbreon with Sucker Punch. Hazard setting, he's got the Garchomp with Rocks, Infernape with Rocks, Ferrothorn with Rocks and Spikes, Weezing with Toxic Spikes, and Grottle with Rocks. And then removal options is the Starmie with Rapid Spin, Mega Pidgeot, and Thundurus Therian both with Defog. Excuse me, and Avalugg with Rapid Spin. Kind of silly that Grottle doesn't get Rapid Spin to me, but oh well. 4 times weaknesses is just the Garchomp to Ice and Ferrothorn to Fire, which I should have covered on the team here. So first up, I don't think that Mesprit or Starmie are coming. I know they're both Psychic types, but I really don't think that Psychic has a great matchup against my team. Just with the natural resistances and whatnot. He might want to bring them just for like Conk and Amoonguss, but I think that Hydra's got a really amazing matchup against this team, and he wouldn't want to risk the Mesprit. For sure, the Mesprit's definitely not coming in my mind. But the Starmie could still be like an offensive force in Rain, so we'll sort of see about that. I'm not bringing Rain because I don't think it works well against this team, and I don't want to enable the Ferrothorn more than it already is, so we're not going to do that. It would have helped against the Infernape. Pardon me, the Infernape and the Thundurus-T, but I opted out of that. So first up here is the Necrozma. Still a little bit of a mixed defensive, leaning a lot more towards the specially defensive side. Necrozma to take on the Pidgeot and the Thundurus. Rocks, Heat Wave, Photon Geyser, and Moonlight. I just want like the damage from Photon Geyser, and then Heat Wave is there for the Ferrothorn. It's mainly just there to get up rocks and hopefully keep the rocks there to punish a lot of Pokemon on this team. Photon Geyser goes through Mimikyu's disguise, so I need to be careful about that. If I want to break the disguise, I can Heat Wave it and then enable other Pokemon on my team, or I can just Photon Geyser it. But we'll sort of see how that works out. The Moonlight's obviously there for recovery, and that's all that Necrozma is doing this game. I actually started in the middle of the screen for some reason, so we'll just work our way backwards then. And I'll move on next here to the Gardevoir. I'm running a Choice Specs Gardevoir, which I think actually has a pretty decent shot against this team. He doesn't really have answers to Specs Fairies type with fire coverage. It seems, especially Gardevoir, because his Fairy Resists on this team are basically Weezing and Ferrothorn. And actually, those are his Fairy Resists. So the fact that I have coverage for both of those in Psychic and HP Fire means I can sort of just spam Specs Moonblast against most of this team. It's a relatively safe switch into the Thundurus Therian because I can trace Volt Absorb. I could trace Rough Skin or Iron Barbs and then force contact damage. Disguise isn't traceable, unfortunately. I could trace Analytic from the Starmie, which would be ridiculous. Sturdy from the Avalugg, Levitate from the Weezing, things of that nature. Excuse me. I have Icy Wind on here as a failsafe. If I really need the speed control, I've got access to speed control there. Thought about Healing Wish as well. I think Icy Wind's probably going to end up being better. This game is going to be a lot more fast-paced, and I'm not sure that I'm going to be switching into a lot of things, just sort of like nuking and then going into the next threat. I'm running Modest, Max Speed, Max Special Attack. The best thing that's going to actually run speed is going to be the Mesprit, and I don't really think Mesprit's going to want to run Timid, so I just ended up going Modest. Get the extra power on there, and it means that I'm going to pressure a lot of things very effectively. I guess I'll go Helios now. So I'm Assault Vest Helios with Thunderbolt, Focus Blast, HP Ice, and Hyper Voice. Opted into the Dry Skin just in case the Starmie comes. Just in case the Starmie comes and it wants to click a water move. Otherwise, I actually would really want to be Sandvale in this game, just in case he's like a Z Sandstorm Garchomp to sort of counter my my Rain. I think I did that earlier on into the season as well, actually. But That's the idea behind this set, at least. I'm outspeeding the Infernape with this. It's probably going to click Mach Punch anyways, but just as a failsafe in case it's Scarfed, which doesn't really make sense in case it's Banded, I guess. Yeah, Hyper Voice dents a lot of this team. The normal resist on this team are Ferrothorn, and you guessed it, that's it. Mimikyu is an immunity, but Mimikyu doesn't really want to switch into anything. People that switch in Mimikyu are not using Mimikyu correctly. Focus Blast there for the Ferrothorn, HP Ice for the Garchomp and the Thundurus. Although I'd probably rather click a Hyper Voice against the Thundurus. Depends on what goes on there. And then T-Bolt is effective. Pardon me. T-Bolt is effective at dealing with everything else. Torn-T here. I've got a Rocky Helmet Torn-T with Taunt, Heat Wave, Hurricane, and U-Turn. Idea is that I can tank physical hits, outspeed some stuff, and get hits off. I'm actually going to change the speed now. I realized I don't really want to be speed creeping the Pidgeot with this anyways. I was initially speed creeping Pidgeot with it, but I got the Helios there anyways. And actually I'm going to change the Helios away from Dry Skin to Sandveil because Heat Wave's going to do more damage to me from the Pidgeot if I was Dry Skin, so we'll just do that. But I'm speed tying Mega Pidgeot. I'm going to change that instead to outspeed Infernape. 347. 347. There we go. And then I get a lot more physical defense. The idea is that I'm sort of like tanking a hit from Infernape anyways with this, so this will be good. I've got Hurricane on there. I can hit it against Pidgeot, no problem. And I've got a lot of bulk on this set, so shouldn't be an issue there. Taunt is there mainly for the Pharaoh. This is my dedicated lead against most things. I really gotta hope that the Thundurus isn't the thing that leads, but if it is the thing that leads and it threatens me out with a Volt Switch or whatever, I just go hard into Gardevoir, and then I get a free Moonblast against pretty much anything there. I'm not running Defog, but I believe I am on something else, so we'll get to that in a second here. U-Turn is just a pivot out, and Hurricane hits the rest of the team really, really hard. Hydreigon, I am not running Defog on. Okay, so I thought I was. I might be running it on Scizor. I'm not entirely sure. Scarf Hydra, which actually looks really decent here to me as well. Breaks the Psychic types if they do come really effectively with Dark Pulse spam. Dark Pulse spam against this team is pretty solid. Flash Cannon is a nice way to revenge kill a Mimikyu. I don't have to be Scarf for that necessarily, but it's there to revenge kill Mimikyu. I wanted a way to be able to outspeed things like Garchomp and Infernape anyways, and Thundy. A lot of stuff just sitting in a range right above Hydra that I need the Scarf to outspeed. Draco pretty much picks one up against most things here. Biggest thing is the Ferrothorn, which I'm packing fire coverage for on a few Pokemon, but I'm not actually going to be able to break with Hydra. So that's something to keep in mind. I actually swapped out Fire Blast for Flash Cannon so that I'd have something for the Mimikyu. And I think I'm going to change it back to Fire Blast to be able to hit the Pharaoh, because I don't want to deal with a situation where I'm walled by Pharaoh, but there you go. And then last but not least is, oh, actually, sorry, I'm outspeeding Mimikyu with the Hydra, and then Scizor here, I'm running a Banded Scizor. Okay, I do have Defog. Banded Scizor with Defog, it's probably more ideal to have Defog on this, but I don't have the room on this unless I drop U-Turn. U-Turn, Bullet Punch, Defog, Knockoff. This is really effective against picking off a lot of his team. Banded Bullet Punch does a really good job of picking off mons like Mega Pidgeot after rocks. Threatens the Mimikyu every single time. Wouldn't even be surprised to see like HP fired Mimikyu, honestly. It revenge kills a lot of stuff that's faster than me. Excuse me. And everything slower than me, I can break with U-Turn or Knockoff. So those are big solid aspects here. Scizor is actually speed creeping heavily invested Weezing, which I don't think is coming, but I should at least be able to outspeed it and U-Turn on it. Rather than have it come in, outspeed me and click Flamethrower. That would be really embarrassing. So I'm outspeeding like extra, more than I need to on the Weezing. I'm not actually outspeeding max speed Weezing, but Weezing shouldn't be running max speed against my team. So, you know, it should probably be fully physically defensive, but just in case I have it at a range where I'm still adamant, I still have a lot of bulk, but I can still outspeed the Weezing. In terms of what I'm not bringing, Amoonguss didn't look that good. It's got a horrible matchup against Infernape and Pidgeot. And I'm finding that Amoonguss is kind of situational in most areas. It's not the best defensive type in Grass and Poison. Mega Venusaur, I guess, makes it work because of Thick Fat, but It's really going to struggle against a lot of things here. Yeah, Mega Storm definitely makes it work because like this matchup is just not good for Mugus. Conk was on the team originally, swapped it out for the Assault Vest Heliolisk. I wanted something faster than Infernape. I had Banded Conk and I had like Defensive Scissor, I think, and then I ended up changing to a Defensive Conk, I think, and then I swapped out the Defensive Conk entirely. It's not on the team anymore. I'm not bringing the Raincore, Pelipper, Mega Swampert. Monferno's a meme. That's pretty much all there is to it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys for our Week 8 match against Scotty in the London Luxray.